Hey guys, what's up? So I'm gonna give you 3 tips to improve your hunting skill in general and maybe try to speedrun if you want. First of all, thank you so much for all the views on my first videos and the nice comments that you guys made. It's really nice and makes me want to do more videos. And by the way, if you haven't watched it, I suggest you go take a look because it covers the basics such as how to create a script and how to apply it to a monster. On this video, the tips I'm gonna show are a little more advanced, but I think they're still applicable to your average everyday hunt, and if you're trying to speedrun, it can help you a lot. So without further ado, let's take a look at tips number 1. Understanding how monsters flinch. So I'm hitting this monster right now, and I know, without using any overlay, that I will get the stun right now. To understand how I know that, we need to go back to the beginning of the quest. On the opener, I hit the monster multiple times with absolute power shot, which triggers stun on the bow, but I did not quite reach the first threshold for the stun. So after that, he did his ultimate, and during this animation, I cannot get the stun, because he has the invulnerability window. But you can still reach the threshold for the stun. So during this animation, I reached the threshold, and right when the animation was done, is when the stun happened. And it's really important to understand. A lot of monsters have this type of invulnerability window. For example, on this one, when he charges his arm, you cannot do anything to him. You cannot sleeping, para him, stun him, anything. And right when he's done is when the flinch can happen. So you want to make sure that the damage that will apply the flinch, either a damage to the head to get a head break, or a damage with paralysis coating to get the para, or anything like that, or sleep damage, is happening at the end of this type of invulnerability windows. This concept is essential to speedrunning because it allows you to keep up the aggression. Doing a stun, you're building on the next threshold for the next flinch, and when he recovers from the stun, when damage anywhere will flinch him. So you know that you can keep up the aggression and keep attacking the monster. So for each monster, testing and discovering which attacks and which animation are invulnerability windows is essential to speedrunning, and it's really interesting. I think this idea can apply to every hunt, even if you are a more casual player playing only multiplayer. Try to understand where you can and when you cannot flinch the monster, and try to use it to your advantage. So, on to the next tips now, which is test and experiment. Monster Hunter in general, but especially speedrunning, is all about testing and experimenting. Constantly trying new ways to approach the monster, to approach build making, to punish monsters' attack in some ways, to flinch them, etc. etc. It's a big part of what we do, and it's a very important one. For example, we all know by now that the current meta for bow is dominated by elemental build, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have fun and try new ways to experiment and approach speedrunning. On this run, this guy uses sneak attack and a raw build to make his run, and it's very interesting to me. Another example would be the use of the destroyer skill in a gold veteran run to break the head faster and do more DPS. In the end, a good run to me is not necessarily the fastest, but the one you like the most, because you tried new thing and it worked. The last tips is a little bit more for the tryharder. It is record and analyze your gameplay. Don't think speedrunners just come into a quest and just destroy the monster first try. Maybe some people do, but definitely not me. I always make tons of mistakes when I'm trying a new quest, but analyzing my gameplay is a big help to me. I go back and look at what the monster is doing and what I'm doing to try to understand and see visual clues to help me identify what's wrong and what I can improve on my gameplay. For example, watching closely the animation of this monster helped me identify that I needed to watch the leg in order to dodge bolt the roar efficiently and consistently. This becomes even more important if you're playing a weapon that uses counter, and I think that right now most of the weapons do. So guys, to sum up, understand how monsters flinch, so go out there and try on your own which attacks and which animation are invulnerability windows or not. Then test and experiment with your build making your script, your ways to approach the monster, etc. And record and analyze your gameplay. It's very important if you want to improve and be a good hunter or a good speedrunner. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.